Dear students, welcome to this session. In this session, we will discuss that performance analysis of the quicksort. Similar to the merge sort, the quicksort also there are two algorithms. One is the quicksort to sort the elements from starting index to end index. Another algorithm for partitioning the elements. Partition. So to find the time complexity for the quicksort, we need to know the time complexity of the partition algorithm. So this is used by the quicksort algorithm. So that we will discuss one by one. First one is the partition algorithm. First look at that algorithm here. This algorithm containing only one loop. So we need to count the number of iterations for that loop. So in that algorithm, starting index and end index is passed. Okay, the loop is getting executed from starting index to that end index. So only one loop is there. So I need to count the number of iteration for this loop equal to sum of the loop start from j equal to s to e. So sum of j equal to s to e 1. So it is nothing but end minus e plus 1. So e minus s plus 1. Okay. In the first case, if you want to partition the entire n elements 0 to n minus 1, the s will be the 0 and e will be what? N minus 1. Okay. For n elements, okay, for n elements, s is equal to start index will be the 0, end index will be that n minus 1. So that if you substitute here, it is because we need that complexity in terms of what? The complexity in terms of that n. So that the t of n is equal to, you just substitute e equal to n minus 1 minus 0 plus 1. So that is a n belongs to O of what? N. So exactly n iterations. So the time complexity of t of partition algorithm is what? O of n or the theta of n. Why we have put the theta of n means, for the quicksort we are going to obtain the recurrence. For solving the recurrence, the format should be what? In the theta of n something. To get that format, we are representing, instead of that O, we are representing that theta. For representing time complexity, we need to what? Represent the upper bound only. That is, beyond this function, my complexity will not go. Like that only we have to say it. So that we need to what? Only say that upper bound for your what? Execution time. Okay. So this is your function n. Your n will not go beyond that n function. Okay, like that we are saying, that is what? O of n. The theta says that complexity will not go beyond that n, as well as will not go what? Below that n. So it will be what? Increased in between what? N, like that you are saying. So that what? So we can represent either big O or what? The theta for representing the complexity. Okay. The next quicksort algorithm. The quicksort algorithm, there are two cases. One is the base case, another one is the recursive case. In the base case is what? S equal to E. S greater than E means invalid index. Okay, in both the case what? Just return. It will not do anything on that array. So in that time complexity is a constant O of 1. So first base case, the base case is nothing but what? If n equal to what? 1 or S is what? Greater than or equal to E. Okay. So in that case, the complexity T of n equal to what? 1. O of 1. Not theta of 1. Okay. Next, in the recursive case, there are 3 steps: 1, 2, and 3. The one is the calling the partition algorithm. This complexity we already found. That is what? Theta of n or O of n. Okay, partition algorithm, okay, for n elements is determined as what? Theta of n. Now we need to what? Analyze the quicksort, that is the sub problems. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, here the size is that n, correct? For n elements we are applying the quicksort algorithm here for the main. So what about the size of this sub problem? Okay, to find the complexity of that recursive function, I need to know that size of what? The recursive call. If you are taking for the main call, the size is the n. What is the size of that sub problems? In the merge sort, the split occur exactly at the middle. The merge sort, the split occur exactly at the middle. So that we can easily understand, identify that size of the sub problem as a n by 2, n by 2. But in this case, okay, the split is not going to occur exactly at the middle. It is depending on that algorithm what? Partition. Correct? It is going to what? Give that split position. Based on that split position, that is a m, first of elements is going to be given for the first call, second of elements is going to be given for what? Second call. Like this. Means that in this case, the quicksort algorithm, the size of the subproblem is the unknown. Okay, so this subproblem also what? Unknown. If the known size means, if you are taking this as a n is a n by 2 means, so this complexity is a t of n by 2, we can easily say this is what? Sorry, this complexity is t of n. We can easily say that this complexity is a t of n by 2. This complexity is a t of n by 2 like this. But here it is not, the size is what? Unknown now. It is depending on the partition algorithm. Again, the partition algorithm, okay, how the split occur means, it is depending on that choosing the key. Okay, which element is going to be what? Chosen as a key. For example, if you consider this, if you are applying the partition of a, 0, 8, entire n elements are involved. Okay, after calling the partition, the input is divided into like this: 3 elements in the first one and what? 5 elements in the second one. Because here the split is occur due to based on what? The key element which you have chosen. Which element you have chosen here? The last element. Last element value is what? 39. Based on the value of the key element, the partition is occurring. Because 39, what are all the elements which are there less than the 39 will be in that first recursive call. The elements which is greater than the 39 will be in that second recursive call. So the partition of what? The input is due to what? Is based on what? The value of the key element which you have chosen. So that we don't know about what the input elements values, which element is going to be chosen like this. So that actually we cannot analyze that complexity directly. Okay, so it is depending on what? The input elements. So that only we are taking that recursive call size is considered as what? Unknown size. come to the recursive case of the quicksort. Recursive case of the quicksort. So step 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So step 1 is complexity of the partition. Okay. So that will be identified as what? Complexity of partition algorithm, which is what? Theta of what? N. And second step is what? Complexity of what? Quicksort of A comma S comma what? M minus 1. This is what? Unknown size. And the third one is complexity of another call quicksort A comma M plus 1 comma E. So this is also what? Unknown size. So the size of the subproblems is depending on the value of the key element which is selected in the partition algorithm. Selected in the partition algorithm. Okay. So we need to analyze this quicksort in 3 different cases. It's depending on the input values. So what is the best case input, what is the worst case input, and then what is the average case input. Okay, based on 3 different cases of that input, we are going to what? Analyze it. Okay, so we need to analyze that complexity of this quicksort algorithm for 3 different cases of the input. One is the worst case input, best case input, and average case input. Finally, we have to prove this average case input is what? Nearly equivalent to what? The best case or the worst case. Like that we have to what? Prove it. So we will see one by one. The first worst case. So worst case input. Can you identify what may be the worst case input for the quicksort algorithm? Worst case input means what? The input in which case we are obtaining the worst time complexity. Maximum execution time is required for which what input. Okay, that is what worst case. So we already discussed this based on the value of that key element. Usually as per our algorithm, the last element is going to be chosen as the key element. So it is depending on that last element. Okay, it means that no element, okay, is less than that last element. It means that the second of entire what elements will go towards second half. Okay, so no elements will be in that first half. In another case, if the value of the key element 39, okay, so no element is what? Greater than the 39. All elements are there in the less than the 39. And no elements is what? Greater than 39. It means that the second of no elements will be there. In the first of what? All the elements will be there. For example, if you are assuming this input 25, 35, 45 and 55. Okay, 25, 35, 45 and 55. Can you say this is the best case input for that quicksort? Because that elements is already what? The sorted order 25, 35 and 45, 55. Can you say this is that worst case? So already in that sorted order, so that what we will get only the less time complexity. Like that, if you are thinking it is wrong. For that quicksort, if that elements is already in that sorted order, we will get that maximum time complexity, worst case. This is because the partition is going to be happened based on what the key element. Key element usually that last element. The last element is what 55. It means that based on that in the first partition, how that elements will be splitted means the 55 in that middle. Okay, the elements which are less than that 55 in the first half. So that what 25 and 35 and 45 will be in that first half. And then only there is no element in the second half. Like that it will be splitted. This is the case in the first partition. In the second iterative call, here again the quicksort will be applied for this half and this half. When you are going to want to divide this into using the partition algorithm, here again the based on the value of the last element it is going to be what splitted. Here 45 in that middle and then the first two of 25 and then what 35. And no elements greater than the 45, second half will be what empty. So that what this recursive call will not happen. This recursive call will not happen. Again what? For this again recursive call, this will be splitted into what? 35 in that middle, and here it is at 25, and here that is what no elements, like that it will be split. So it will be what splitted in this way. In each iteration, okay, the input is not going to be divided into the two. You will get the best time complexity only if the input is divided into what exactly into two of. Then only you will what get the minimum time complexity. That is what least time complexity. But in this case, it is not like that. It is not going to be divided exactly into two of. Okay, so first one is that 3 and what 1. So in the 4 cases, 4 input, it is divided into 3 and 0. The next what? It is divided into what? 2 and 0. In the next case what? 1 and 0. So in each cases what? The subproblem, maximum subproblem is what? Here 4 and here 3 and here 2 and here what? 1. It means that n elements are there in each iteration. Okay, n elements are there. The subproblem size will be here what? N minus 1 or what? Second subproblem will be the 0. Very clear? If it is divided into exactly 2 means what? The subproblem size is the t n by 2, and here the subproblem size is what? N by 2. But in this case, if it is already in order, okay, so it will be divided into what? N minus 1 and then what? 0. So this is that case 1. That is, if it is already there in that ascending order. Okay. So next you consider the second type of that input. That is what? If you are considering this reverse case, 55, 45 and then what? 35 and 25. So if that input is completely in reverse order, that is the descending order, whether is it the worst case, best case? This is also what will be the worst case input. It means that in this case also we will get the maximum time complexity. This is because what? Here also what? It is not going to be divided into exactly 2. Again because of what? The key element. Key element here what? 25. So based on the 25 the split is going to occur. It means that 25 is in the middle. No elements in less than the 25. So first half will be that empty. And second half will be what? 55, 45 and 35. Like that it will be splitted. In the second half again what? It will be splitted based on what? 35. So that 35 in the middle and no elements are less than the 35. And here it is what? 55 and then 45. And then here again what? It will be splitted into 2. So that 45 in the middle. Okay, no elements in that left side, and then what? 55 in that right side. Like that it will be there. Okay, so in this case, okay, so the 4 input is divided into what? 0 and then what? In the first level 3. 0 and what? 3. In the next level it will be splitted again to 0 and 2. The next level it will be splitted into 0 and what? 1, like that. So that the subproblem is what? The main problem is divided into what? 0 into what? N minus 1, like that. It again what here also what it is not going to be divided into n by 2 n by 2. But in the Magic sort algorithm, 4 is the input. In the first subproblem 2, second subproblem 2, like that it will be divided. But here in this case also, n is going to be divided into what? 0 and what? N minus 1. Okay, so it means that ascending or what? Descending order. Okay, so what is the worst case input for the quicksort is what? Either if that input is in that ascending order or if that input is in what? Descending order. Okay, so then we will get that worst case time complexity. So in that ascending order, the input is going to be what? Divided into like this. Okay, in the descending order, that the input is divided into what? In like this. Okay, n minus 1. So in means that in either in the ascending and descending, the input is divided into what? N minus 1 subproblem and 0 subproblem. So always remember, the recursive algorithm or divide and conquer algorithm, you will get that best time complexity. Okay, best time complexity when your input is divided into the 2 of n by 2 n by 2. In that case only what? In each and every subdivision, okay, the problem is divided into that n by 2 n by 2, then only we will get what? The best complexity. Here you are applying the divide and conquer, but it is not going to be divided equally. Again what? One person the burden is huge. Here the two persons also, the load is not perfectly balanced. So one problem again is getting them more load. Okay, so in this case, even if you are applying that approach divide and conquer, you will get what? The worst complexity. So just to summarize this, what I explained. For the worst case, input for the quicksort is an ordered list. It means either ascending or what? Descending order. We keep it in mind. In this case, we will get that worst time complexity. If that input is in ascending order, for example, the key element will be selected as the largest element in the selected array. It means that array, if it is in ascending order, usually what? Last element will be what? The largest element will be selected as what? The key. So the partition algorithm will create two subproblems. Based on that value, it is going to create the subproblems. Two subproblems are two arrays. First subproblem contains the n minus 1 elements because all the elements less than that key. So it will be what? In the left side. And second contains no elements. Okay, if you are considering this case, the complexity of the quicksort T of n equal to the partition complexity. The three steps 1, 2, 3, correct? The one is the partition complexity. Another one is what? Second step quicksort of what? Left side. First subproblem complexity. And third step, second subproblem complexity. First subproblem size is what? N minus 1. Size equal to what? N minus 1. This is in what? Worst case. And here the size is equal to what? 0. Okay, this is case what? Worst case. Or this size may be the 0, this size may be the n minus 1 if it is in descending order. Okay, if the T of n be the complexity of the quicksort for size n, okay, T of n be the complexity of a quicksort for size n, the complexity of the quicksort for what? Size n minus 1 will be what? T of n minus 1. Here T of what? 0. So that the complexity of the T of n equal to what? The partition complexity theta of n and then plus what? This T of n and plus what? T of what? 0. Sorry, this is what? T of n minus 1, not T of n. So n minus 1. Okay, t of n minus 1. So we will get a recurrence like t of n equal to, okay, t of n equal to t of n minus 1 plus theta of n. This we can ignore it. Okay, t of 0 is a 0 time complexity, you can ignore it. Don't, there's no problem. So that we can say that t of what, n minus 1 plus theta of n, if what n is greater than 1, and theta of 1 if what n equal to 1. So this recurrence we are calculating. Okay, now we need to solve the recurrence. Previously we discussed a method, shortcut method for solving the recurrence, but if that recurrence is in that format of what, t of n equal to t of a into what, t of n by what, something. If n is divided into some terms means what, we can apply that shortcut method. But here the subproblem size is not in that divide format. It is what, t of n minus 1 plus what, theta of n. So that shortcut method of solving the recurrence, this cannot be what applied for this. This is only if it is there in the format of what, a into t of n by b by plus what, something. If n is divided for subproblem, the n is divided in by what, some constant. So in that case only we can what, apply this this method, shortcut method. But here we cannot apply. So if we want to solve this is a recurrence. If we want to solve this recurrence, we need to go for the method of our recursion tree or the substitution method. I briefly explain this method. Try to understand. Okay, the recursion tree method. This is called recurrence. So we are going to use the recursion tree we can solve this. This is for what, solving recurrence. Okay, just assume we are going to form a tree. Okay, first assume the initial input. Initial input is what, n, correct? Initial input is what, n. So just you consider that level number 0. In the 0th level, okay, initial input is what, 1, n. The next level, how that input is going to be divided. Okay, actually what, the input is going to be divided into what, n. The first subproblem is n minus 1. Another subproblem is what, 0. Among this, the maximum subproblem you consider. The maximum subproblem is what, n minus 1. In merge sort and all, it is going to what, divided into n by 2, n by 2. So maximum subproblem size is what, n by 2. Here the maximum size subproblem is what, n minus 1. So that just consider in the next level, what is the maximum size subproblem. So what is the maximum size subproblem here? It is that n by n minus what, 1. So in the next level, in the 1, it is going to be what, n is going to be reduced to what, n minus 1. So in the next level, it is further is going to be reduced to what, n minus 2 in the second level. Okay, in the next level like that, if it and so on, at last level, once the size will become what, 1, correct? The size will become that 1. See this input, ascending order. So it's here 3 and 2 and then what, 1. So the 4 is reduced to what, 4, 3, 2, 1 like this. So that what, in one cases, in one situation, in one level, the size will become what, 1. Correct? The size will become what, 1. Say that level is what, ith level. Okay. So in that ith level, we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3. In the ith level, we are getting that size is that 1. Okay. If that size is that 1, that complexity will be what, t of what, 1, correct? So t of 1. The t of 1 is the known complexity. That is what, theta of what, n. So this complexity, that ith level, that complexity is equal to what, 1. Okay, what the size will be that what 1. It means that that complexity, then it means that 0th level size 1, first level size 2, second level first level n minus 1 is the size, second level n minus 2. Similarly, in that ith level the size is what equal to n minus I. N minus I, what we are saying, that ith level, that is becoming what 1. Okay, so that n minus I equal to what 1. Okay, so that what will be the I value here is, we can say that I equal to what n minus 1. So that number of level is what, last level is what n minus 1. Correct. So how we are getting that? At ith level, in each level, okay, what will be the size of the problem we are obtaining? 0th level n, first level n minus 1, second level n minus 2. Similarly, what, that ith level, the size will be what, n minus I. Okay, so in that ith level, what we are assuming, that size will become what 1. So n minus 1, n minus I is equivalent to what 1. So that I is what n minus 1. It means that the level, last level is identified as what n minus 1. So how many iterations will go means what, n minus 1 iterations will go like this. So to obtain the complexity, okay, time complexity of this unknown recurrence, just we are going to add this what, all the n. Okay, that is all the level. So first level n size plus this complexity n minus 1 plus what, n minus 2, like this up to what, the 1. So how we are going to add means, we are going to what, count up to what, I minus 1, because the size is the unknown up to what, I minus 1, because it is n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, like that. For the ith level, the size is known as what, 1. Okay, up to what, I minus 1, the size containing the n term. Okay, in the ith level there is no n term, we are assuming this is what, 1. So that the time complexity T of n is equal to what, we are going to what, add this entire thing, that's all. Okay, but in two terms, in the ith level it is that is what, 1. So 1 into that time complexity, that is what, T of 1. So 1 into what, T of 1, this is what in that ith level, plus I need to add this all the sizes. Okay, n, n minus 1, n minus 2, like this. Okay, so that sum of, okay, so the j start from 0th level, this is the level 0, okay, up to what, I minus 1, I need to what, add that what, here n alone, here n minus 1, here n minus 2, like that. So j equal to what, 0 to I minus 1. So it means that n minus what, j. Okay, so this expression is nothing but the sum of what, this element size. Okay, in each iteration was subproblem size, n, n minus 1, n minus 2. Okay. So what we can do is, this is that T of 1. We can ignore this as what, 1, plus this can be written, just to substitute j equal to what, 0. J equal to 0, if you are substituting, it will be what, only the n, plus j equal to 1. J equal to 1 means what, n minus 1, plus n minus 2, plus and so on what, plus n minus, instead of the j I have to substitute I minus 1, that is the last one. Okay, just I substituted this, j value equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. This is nothing but, don't get confused. Okay, in each level just I have added this one. Okay, that is n plus n minus 1 and n minus 2 plus up to what, n minus I minus 1. Okay, like that I have added. And here this can be written as what, for that I, what is that I value? I also have to be expressed in terms of what, n. So the I is nothing but what, n minus 1. So this level is the n minus 1. So previous level is what, n minus 1 minus 1. That is what, n minus 2. So just you substitute I as what, n minus 1. So that 1 plus n plus n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus and so on plus n into n minus, okay, n minus 1 minus 1. Okay, for that size IA I have put what, n minus 1. Okay, so that we can write what, 1 plus n plus n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus and so on. This is what, n in n minus n, okay, and then plus 2, correct, minus 1 minus 2, so plus 2. So n will be cancelled, so that it can be written as what, 2 plus, in the reverse, if it is a 2, the next term will be what, 3, 4 up to what, the n. Okay, so simply what, n plus n minus 1 n minus 2 plus and so on plus 3 plus what, 2, that is last term. It means 1 plus, this can be written as what, 2 plus 3 plus up to what, plus n minus 2 plus n minus 1 plus what, up to n. This is nothing but what, arithmetic series. So if it is arithmetic series 1 to n means the formula is what, n into n plus 1 by 2. N into n plus 1 by 2 means what, it belongs to what, theta of n squared, O of what, n squared, or theta of n squared. So that complexity for that unknown is what, t of n equal to what, theta of n squared. Okay, here we need to what, substitute here. So if you substitute this in the recurrence, okay, for this theta of what, n squared, t of n equal to theta of n squared if n is greater than 1. Okay, if n equal to 1, theta of what, 1. So simply we can say that the complexity of the quicksort equal to what, theta of n squared in the worst case. Okay, so t worst of n is equal to what, theta of n squared for what, quicksort algorithm. Okay, t worst means what, worst case complexity of what, quicksort algorithm is O of n squared. Okay, so next we will discuss that best case complexity, and then what is the best case input, and what is the best case complexity, and what is the average case complexity of the quicksort. Next we will discuss that best case complexity of the quicksort. The worst case time complexity for the quicksort is depending on the split. Okay, so the 3 different cases of the complexity is mainly what, depending on the split occur at which position. So the worst case complexity means if the input is always in the ascending order or descending order. If the input is in ascending order or descending order. Suppose if the input is in ascending order, the split always occur at what, the last position. So that what, the input is divided into n minus 1 elements and then what, 0 elements. Like that it will be splitted. Okay, so large number of elements will go in one side, so that we are obtaining the complexity is nearly equivalent to what, O of n squared. It's a worst complexity. Okay, and what is the best case complexity means in which case the quicksort will give the best performance means, okay, if that input is divided into that exactly into what, 2 with the equal size. Okay, it means that if the split is occur at what, exactly at the middle. So if the input is divided into what, n elements are divided into n by 2 elements, then we can say that we will obtain the best time complexity. See, in all what, a divide and conquer approach, okay, so the efficiency of your algorithm will be improved only if what, the input is divided, n input is divided into what, n by 2 Instead, if it is divided into n minus 1, 0 means what, you will get the worst complexity. So what we are going to consider is, if are going to assume that if that input, okay, for that the split occur always at the middle, okay, then that input is considered as the best case input for my quicksort. In that case, what my quicksort will give what the best complexity, like that. Okay, if the two subproblems of the partition, okay, the partition is going to what split the input into the two, okay. So if the two subproblems of the partition algorithm having the size n by 2, it will be considered as the best case. In that case, that is n is divided into what, n by 2, n by 2, two subproblems. Then we are going to apply the quicksort for this one and quicksort for what, this off. So for this, if this algorithm is a T of n complexity, this algorithm will be what, T of n by 2, and for this algorithm will be what, T of n by 2. Again we are assuming that what, this problem again will be divided into what, that size minus 1, n by 2 by 2, n by 2 by 2, like that. So if always the split occurs at the middle position, okay, in that case the complexity of the quicksort T of n is equal to 2 into T of n by 2, 2 into what, T of n by 2, plus for the partition algorithm, okay, the split algorithm, already we defined that complexity is theta of what, n, that is what, if n greater than 1. Theta of 1 if what, n equal to what, 1. For any recursive algorithm we need to define the complexity, that is a recurrence, like this, okay, complexity of the subproblems plus the additional complexities for either split or what, merge, okay, and then if it is greater than 1. So we need to define the base case for any recursive algorithm. In that base case is for smaller size for which case, okay, that recursive procedure is not needed, that is a base case, okay. So that base case theta of 1, okay. So this is the recurrence. By solving the recurrence by using that shortcut methods, we will obtain that time complexity T of n is equal to what, this is in the format of what, a into T of n by 2, okay, n by b plus theta of what, n log n, okay. So that is what, in that format. So this is there in this format, n power k into log p. So I need to find that a, b, a, k, p, okay, a, b, k and p. P equal to 0, k equal to what, 1, a equal to 2, b equal to 2. So after that, if you identify the case and find the solution for this is what, theta of what, n square, sorry, n log n, okay. So that is what, this is equal to theta of n log n, okay, and theta of 1 if what, n greater than 1 and if n equal to 1. We always represent the complexity for large n only, so that what, simply we can mention that complexity T of n that is T best of n is equal to what, theta of n log n. So that is the final complexity of your algorithm in the best case. Now we need to move to the average case. In average case only we have to consider, okay, I have to analyze that average case whether this is nearly equivalent to the best case complexity or worst case complexity. Two extreme case we have discussed. Worst case you will get and best case you will get. So your average case is what, in between that n squared and n log n. So that what is the average case and what the average case nearly equivalent to which case, like that we have to what, prove it. The worst case, n is divided into n minus 1, 0. Best case, n is divided into n by 2, n by 2. So average case, usually the average case complexity for any algorithm will be analyzed based on the probability of that input. So what is the possible input for that average case? So based on the probability, we need to what, analyze it. So here, how for the quicksort, how we are going to analyze the average case means, the split occur as what, n minus 1, 0. If the split occur as what? N by 2, N by 2. Okay. This is the two extreme cases. Okay. Now for the average case, how we are going to assume it? This is what? The best case. Worst case. This is what? The best case. The average case, we are going to assume if that n is divided into what? Not n by 2, n by 2, not n minus 1, 0, in between what? With some ratio. Okay. Input is divided into 3 to what? 1 ratio, R. Okay. 9 to what? 1 ratio, R. 99 to 1 ratio, like that we are going to assume 3 to 1 or 9 to 1. 3 to 1 means what? 3 by 4 in 1 as a one size, that is a 3n by 4. Another sub problem is what? N by 4. Okay, so that input is divided into this proportion. Okay, 3 to 1 proportion. It means that the sub problem one first size is a 3 by 4 and second one is what? Half, like that. Okay, or that n is divided into 9 into 1 ratio. 9 into 1 means what? 9 by 10, okay, into n, okay, and 1 by 10 of n is another some problem. Okay, 9 by 10 of n is in one problem, another like this. Okay, so it means that if the 10 elements are there, okay, so in the best case it is divided into what? 9 and what? 0. So worst case. In the best case it is divided into what? 5 into what? 5. Okay, in average case we are going to assume 3 by 4, that is n is divided into 3 by 4 of what? N. 3 by 4 of n means what? That is a 7n. 10 is divided into what? 7 and 3, like that. That is 7.5, 2.5, like this. That is a 7 and what? 3. Or that n is divided into what? 9 and what? 1, like this. So this will be what? Assumed that average case in between what? These two cases. That is what? Worst and the best and what? That average. Okay, this is that average case. Okay, so here we have to take any one case and we have to prove that average case is nearly equivalent to the best or what? Worst, like that we have to prove it. Correct? So let us consider any one what case, either what 3 by 4n, 3 to n proportion, or what 9 to 1 proportion. 99 to 1 means what? 99 by 100 and 1 by 100 in that proportion, which is nearly equivalent to that worst case. Okay, so we are going to what? Assume between what? That 9 to 1 proportion. If the split always what? Produce the two sub problems, okay, in the proportion of what? 9 to 1. So in that case, the time complexity will be what? T of n. Okay, time complexity will be theta of n is a split partition algorithm complexity, and one subproblem size will be what? 9 by 10 n. So that what? T of 9 n by 10. Okay, that is the complexity of first subproblem. Second subproblem is what? 1 by 10. So that what? T of n by 10 as a second subproblem complexity, plus the theta of n is for what? The complexity of that partition algorithm. Okay, previously it is divided into 2 n by 2 n by 2. So 2 into t of n by 2, like that we have assumed. Now the two subproblem size is assumed like this, and then that is a complexity if what? N is greater than 1. Theta of 1 if what? N equal to what? 1. Okay, so now if you start solving this recurrence, actually this recurrence cannot be solved by using this method. Okay, because this method format is what? A into t of n by b plus theta. In this format, if it is there, we can solve it using this method easily. But solving this type of recurrence, two unknown different sizes complexity is there. In that case, we have to use either what? the recursion tree method or substitution method. Okay, so if we are using the recursion tree method by using recursion tree method, if we solve the subproblem by using what recursion tree method, okay, then we will get the complexity is T of n is equal to what? We will obtain what? The maximum size problem is what? 9n by 2. So depending on what? 9n by 2 only we will get it. Okay, so maximum size subproblem is what? 9n by 2. So we are ignoring this. So that we are considering this plus what theta of n by solving the recursion tree method. We will get what? T of n, theta of n into log n. Actually, if it is n by 2 means what? Log n base 2. Now it is what? N by 9 by 10. Sorry, 10 by 9. So 9n by 10 can be written as what? N by 10 by 9. So always remember that if T of n divided by 3 means log n by 3, like that it will be there. Now T of n by 10 by 9. So that the complexity will be n log n base is what? 10 by 9. Okay. So this is actually what? The complexity of what? Worst case. Sorry, average case. So this is by using what? Recursion tree we are obtaining this. Okay. Now how to conclude this? Okay. Whether that worst case average case complexity is nearly to that best case or average case, like that we have to prove. Actually, the best case complexity is what? N log n. N log n base 2. Okay, that is the best case complexity. And that worst case complexity is n squared. Okay, our complexity is somewhat but between that n log n base 2 and n squared. So n log n base 10 by 9. Okay, so which is less than this and which is less than this. Okay, so this is what? Worst and best and average. Okay, so if you conclude, if you see this n log n 10 by 9, n log n 10 by 9. So the 10 by 9 is equivalent to what? Nearly equivalent to what? That n log n base 2. Okay, so what we are going to assume it? So this complexity, there is a huge gap between that n squared and the log n term. But this log n term is nearly equivalent to that what? The best case. So how we are going to prove is that my average case complexity is nearly equivalent to what? Nearly equivalent to what? That best case complexity, like that. So that only that average case complexity is also what? T average of what? N is equal to, is identified theta of what? N log n. Because that complexity, while representing the complexity, the log n, the base terms will not be what? Represented usually. We will ignore that base term. So we will say that this is a log n complexity, like that only. So logarithmic. So it comes under what? Logarithmic. So that only simply we are representing that n into, we cannot, this as a quadratic. So n squared means what is a quadratic. So we cannot represent that n log n 10 by 9 as what? A quadratic. So that we are representing this is a logarithmic. Logarithmic means this best case. So that the average case complexity is nearer to what? The best case complexity. So that what? Theta of n log n. Okay. So 3 cases. In the worst case complexity, okay, n is divided into, okay, n is divided into that n minus 1 and 0. So the complexity is what? Theta of what? N squared. Okay. And the best case complexity is n is divided into n by 2, n by 2. In that case, complexity is what? N log n. Okay. And that average case complexity is what? n is divided into what? 9 by 2 or like this. Okay. In that case, the complexity is also what? Nearer to what? The n log n. Okay, n is divided into this. Either this case or this case will be considered. So for this case also what? The complexity is theta of what? N log n. Okay. So average case, best case, and then what? The worst case complexity is proved. Okay. So try to understand that performance analysis of what the quick sort method. Okay, in this way only you have to what? Analyze any algorithms. Okay, so try to understand. If you have any doubt, you can ask. In the next video we will discuss the drawback. If the input is in ascending order, how to what? Overcome that problem. Okay, if it is an ascending order, means we are getting what? Worst case complexity. How to avoid that worst case complexity, that we'll discuss in that next class, next video. Okay, thank you. Dear students, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll discuss briefly about the randomized quicksort. Okay, so what is the randomized quicksort? It is a kind of what? Quicksort only. Okay, so the issue in the quicksort, what is the problem and drawback in the quicksort is, it will give the worst complexity O of n squared for the input in ascending order or what? Descending order. Okay, if the input is in already in that ascending order and descending order, already sorted order, the quicksort yield what? The worst complexity. So how to overcome this? Because of that algorithm nature, it is giving what? The worst complexity. How to modify that algorithm to give that best complexity for any kind of what? Input. That only we are going to what? Discuss in this session. For example, if you consider that elements 15, 25 and 35 and 45. Okay. So in that, this is an ascending order. Okay, in the ascending order means what? In that n is divided into what? N minus 1 and then what? 0. So one subproblem size will be that n minus 1, another subproblem size will be what? 0. So this is the case. This is because what? The partition algorithm choose that what? Key element as the last element. Okay, in partition algorithm, what we are doing usually is what? The last element will be what? Choose as what? A key. Okay, and that based on the key, that split is going to be occur. Based on this key, the split going to be what? Occur. Okay. Since the key element is the greatest element in the list, so the split is occur like what? N minus 1 and 0. So this is the problem in that quicksort. Okay, so where the problem lies? Choosing what? The key element. Our algorithm always choose what? The last element as the key element. So that is the problem in quicksort. Okay, so how we are going to modify is, instead of always choosing the last element as what? The key element, so we are going to select randomly any element as a key element. So just we are going to modify the partition algorithm. Just what? We are going to modify the partition algorithm in which what? We are not going to choose always that what? The last element as the key element. Instead, we are going to choose that any element randomly from what? That is randomly from the list. So I can choose the 25 as the middle element or 35 as the middle element and the 15 as the element. So this will increase the probability of my quicksort yielding what? The best complexity. Correct? So for that we are going to modify that algorithm. So how the randomized quicksort is going to be performed for the input is, just what? You are going to choose any key randomly, any element randomly as a key. Okay, so aim is to choose an element randomly and make it as a key. So we are not going to choose the last one and swap that. As per our partition algorithm, what? Last element need to be a key. So that what we are going to give is, after choosing that random element as a key, we are going to what? Swap that element with what? The last element. So that what? We can use the usual partition algorithm to what? Perform the quicksort. Okay, so one more step we are going to add before start the quick sort. That is what? So before before selecting the last element as the key, we are going to select any element as a key. That element is going to be what? Swapped with what? The last one. How it will be means, so if that input is 15 and 25 and 35 and 45, okay, so usually this will be selected now. Instead that we are going to select this as a key random. This is not exactly as 25. It may be the 35 or 15. Random key, and key is going to be swapped. So that what? 15, the input will be modified as what? 45 and 35 and then what? The 25. Like that, one swapping is going to be done before that. So that what is happening now, what? The key get what? Swapped. So that this is the last element. Now if you are applying the quicksort, normal quicksort algorithm, okay, so we will get that sorted element. It means that what? Partition will happen like what? Based on the 25. Based on the 25 means what? 25 in the middle, and then the 15 in the right side, left side, and then what? 45 and 35 will be on what? Left side. Like that it will be proceeded. Okay, so previously if you are not swapping, it will be what? Like 15, 25, 35 in the left side and no element on right side. Now it will be divided into somewhat what? Equal. So this is the steps we are going to add for what? Randomized quicksort. Okay, so this is the algorithm for the randomized quicksort. Just we are going to modify that. We are going to add one more algorithm, R partition. Okay, that is a randomized partition. That input is what? That A comma S comma E. Okay, and that just what we are choosing a number between that S and E, starting index to end index, that will be the K. So the kth element and eth element is going to be what? Swapped, so that what? That kth element will go to that last position, that is a key element. So then we have to call the usual partition algorithm. So the partition algorithm in which what? The eth element, last element will be chosen as what? A key. Last element is nothing but what now? It is a kth element. So that what? This partition algorithm will produce what? Some split which is occur at the middle. Okay, so that m is going to be what? Written as a m here. Okay, this R partition is going to be used on the quicksort algorithm. Instead of the partition, we are going to use the R partition in the quicksort algorithm. So the quicksort algorithm is going to be modified like this. We are going to give the new name as what? R quicksort. It's a usual quicksort only. Instead of what? Calling the partition, we are going to call what? R partition. Okay, that's all. R partition S comma E. Now it is, even if it is in the sorted order, okay, this algorithm will give the split in what? Somewhat in the middle. Okay, not like what? N minus 1 and 0. Even it is in the sorted. Then I have to call this algorithm recursively, R quicksort of like this and R quicksort of like this. Only what? These two steps we have added in that partition algorithm. Okay, so what is that advantage of what? Choosing the random key means what? The possibility of splitting input into the two equal halves is high. So that what? The possibility of obtaining the best case complexity is what? High. So that we can get the complexity as the O of what? N log n for the quicksort algorithm. So try to what? Implement the randomized quicksort algorithm. Try to get that best complexity output. Okay, so if you have the doubt in this, you can ask. Okay, thank you.